My name is Lee, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Nurture Growth Biofertilizer. We're very excited to bring to you our webinar series of educational topics to help farmers and growers understand more about biologicals. Today, we are going to be talking about the role of Bacillus and the agricultural potential of Bacillus subtilis and Bacillus Pumilus, which are two microbes that are in our biofertilizer. I just wanted to remind everyone that this is not a sales pitch. We're really here to educate our growers and have them understand about these different microbes that can really help improve the soil health. So for the agenda today, Dr. Ankita is going to be presenting about these two microbes and the interconnection between the plant, the soil, and the microbes, and the modes of action and different activities such as plant growth promoting bacterias and how they increase nutrient availability for plants, how they produce plant promoting hormones and reduce abiotic stress. Now, these microbes are often used in biocontrol products. Although Nurture Growth is not a control product, we do contain these microbes, and our farmers are seeing some pesticide and antifungal activities. So here, Dr. Ankita is going to be talking a little bit more about the biocontrol for plant pathogens. So I'll turn it over to Dr. Ankita. And thank you very much for joining us. This will be a 30-minute presentation with a question and answer period. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lee. Good morning to all of you. Let me briefly introduce myself. I am Dr. Ankita, working as Senior Science Officer at Nurture Growth Biofertilizer. And I have 10 years of experience in biofertilizer, organic farming, and different organic farming and natural farming practices. I worked as scientific officer in organic farming department in Ministry of Agriculture in India, and conducted many training programs for farmers, students, agriculture and industry people, and for create awareness about organic and natural farming and principle and practices of crop protection and crop production. So today I'm here to talk about the role of bacilli in agriculture potential of Bacillus subtilis and Bacillus pumilus. So these two are very important bacteria of bacilli. So we'll talk about their importance. To start the introduction, since soil health and crop productivity both are very important if we are talking about growing more food. And since the population of the world is increasing day by day, so there is a need to grow more food. For more food production, there is extensive use of fertilizers, chemicals to increase the production, but there are a number of adverse effects in our soil, plants, and whole environment. So to reduce the adverse effect of these chemicals, there is a alternative good way, which is sustainable farming. So there are different components of sustainable agriculture practices, and beneficial microbes play a very important role working towards sustainable agriculture. So these beneficial microorganisms, they have number of positive properties like enhancing plant growth and development by producing different type of plant growth hormones, enzymes, and many other compounds. By this activity, they can boost the crop yield, and overall their positive impact is definitely going to reduce the dependency on synthetic fertilizers. Apart from the plant growth promoting activity, these beneficial microbes have the property of working as a biocontrol agent as well. So contributing towards the sustainable agriculture, they help in the plant growth, promotion, development, and as well as work as a biocontrol agent and protect the plants from any type of diseases and pests. So if we are talking about these beneficial microbes, so there are a number of beneficial microbes which help and contribute in this sustainable agriculture. And Bacillus genus is very important, and Bacillus subtilis and Pumilus, both these bacteria contribute a lot in this Bacillus genera. So earlier, Bacillus pumilus was also incorporated in the Bacillus subtilis genera, but Later on, it was divided because of the beneficial, so many beneficial properties. They both are present in different categories, but present in the Bacillus genera. So Bacillus species have the ability to work as a plant growth promoting bacteria, as well as biocontrol agent, which protect the plant from different type of pathogens. So this Bacillus is present in its activity is more in the soil, but the association of this bacteria in with the plant is mutualistic, where this bacteria help the plant to provide nutrients and help them to grow more and healthy. And in return, the bacteria gets the favorable environment near the plant cells, which we are going to discuss in the later slides. So before talking about in detail about the bacillus, let's talk about, there is a need to understand the relation of plant, soil, and microbe. So these these microbes, beneficial microbes, their activity occurs in soil. So there is a close relation of these microbes with plant and soil. These plant, when there is a microbe present near the plant roots releases wide variety of organic nutrients and other molecules which attract these microbes. And when the microbes receive these signals from the plant, they start their activity. They break down the complex nutrients and uh, make them and convert them into the simple form so that the plants can easily absorb these nutrients. So these microbes help the plants for the uptake of nutrients, and this all activity occur in the soil. These metabolic activity occur in the soil. Since soil contain number of microbes, so this we should understand the relation between microbes, plant, and soil. So if all the situation is favorable, the microbes show their beneficial microbes show their activity and helpful for the growth and development of plant. Uh, since we are talking about bacillus, let's talk about plant growth promote. Let's see what is their plant growth promoting activity and biocontrol properties of bacillus. So bacillus act as it has dual function. It works as a plant growth promoting bacteria, and it works as biocontrol agent also. So as a plant growth promoting bacteria, it helps the plant to improve its nutrient availability, since bacillus have the property to solubilize the phosphorus present in the soil, which is unavailable for plant in that way. So it break down in a simple form so that the plant can absorb it and use it for their growth. Uh, apart apart from this, bacillus also have the ability to convert nitrogen also and make it available for plant. Next, plant growth promoting character is reducing the abiotic stress. So whenever there is any type of abiotic stress, the plant, this bacilli produces certain type of hormones, and which help the plant uh, to to stand or to to stand themselves against these type of adverse effect. The next property is producing plant growth promoting bacteria, plant growth promoting hormones as gibberellin, ethylene, and indole acetic acid. There are a number of phytohormones. Bacilli is able to produce number of phytohormones, which is helpful for plants growth and development. The next property of Bacillus is as a biocontrol agent. So these bacillus have the ability to produce different type of antimicrobes which restrict the uh, entry of any pathogen to the plant, or which inhibit the growth of any pathogen. The second is, by this bacillus have the ability to induce the systemic resistance. So whenever there is a pathogen or pathogenic attack towards the plant, this bacillus have the ability to induce the resistance in plant, which protect plants against any type of pathogen. And next is this bacillus have, if the bacillus is present near the plant, the pathogen has to compete for food, nutrition, and environment against uh, with the bacillus. So bacillus restrict the pathogen and inhibit their growth. So these plant growth promoting factors and biocontrol factors are two characteristics of Bacillus which combinedly help the plant growth and development. Now, what is the interaction between Bacillus and plant? So whenever in the picture we can see for improved plant growth, we can see this is the area where we can see plant root are exudate certain type of amino acids and phytohormones, and Bacillus also produce different type of components and phytohormones. So there is a in the rhizosphere is a place where like toward near the root area, the soil area is called rhizosphere. So there is chemical intercommunication between the plant root and Bacillus, where uh, where whenever plant exude any type of chemical, there is a intercommunication between plant and Bacillus, where the Bacillus starts their activity and help releasing different type of plant hormones and make the nutrients available for plants, which plant root can absorb, and ultimately it is helpful in the growth of plant. So mechanism of action. So there are number of mechanism of action uh, for the mitigation of abiotic stresses or biotic stresses. Abiotic stresses like any type of climatic change, temperature change, salinity or drought, or biotic stresses like any type of pathogen attack. They there are different type of mechanism of action of Bacillus which help in the growth and development of plant, as well as protect the plants against different type of pathogens and any type of adverse effect. So we already discussed in the earlier slide that there is a rhizospheric chemical intercommunication between the plant root and Bacillus. So this mechanism of action, there are number of methods by which the Bacillus conducted its mechanism for the welfare, for the growth and development of plant. Uh, as a biocontrol agent, whenever there is any pathogen attack towards the plant, the Bacillus secreted. Uh, Bacillus has two ways. One is the direct method, or the second is the indirect method. In the direct method, Bacillus secreted and in some type of antibiotic uh, compounds which inhibit the growth of any type of pathogens. In the indirect method, Bacillus induce systemic resistance in plant, which help the plant to grow and save the plant from any type of adverse uh, uh, negative impact or any type of pathogens. And by releasing of certain phytohormones, as well as by uh, uh, phytohormones like indole acetic acid, zebralin, cytokinin, these are helpful in the root development and plant growth also. Now let's talk about the role of Bacillus in plant health and productivity. So Bacillus subtilis and Pumilus both play important role as a plant growth promoting bacteria as well as biocontrol agent, as we already discussed this thing earlier. So as a plant growth promoting bacteria, how and what are the different ways by which Bacillus contribute towards the growth and development of plant? So Bacillus have number of properties. First is Bacillus increases the nutrient availability for plants. And how Bacillus increase the nutrient availability for plants? Since our plants, for the growth and development of plant, there are main macronutrients as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash. So Bacillus have the ability to, uh, for example, phosphorus. So phosphorus is present in the soil, but is not available for plant direct uptake by plant. So by releasing certain acids, the Bacillus have the ability to de degrade these complex molecules and make them in a simpler form so that plant can absorb and use them for their growth and development. Second is nitrogen. So Bacillus pumilus and Bacillus subtilis are also known as fixing atmospheric uh, nitrogen and make it available for plant. So these two are the main macronutrients which Bacillus provide to the plants and help them to intake. Other thing is iron also by producing of siderophores. So siderophores are the iron chelating protein compounds which which bind with the iron available in the soil and make it available for plant. So by making these nutrients available for plant, Bacillus help in the plant growth promoting. Bacillus act as a plant growth promoting bacteria. Second is production of plant growth promoting hormones. So Bacillus produces number of phytohormones as indole acetic acid, gibberellin. So these have different characteristics like cell elongation and cell division, so which help in the elongation of shoot, elongation of cell, roots, and overall development of plant. Next is reducing abiotic stress. So whenever there is any type of abiotic stress towards the plant, so these bacillus have the ability to produce hormones like abscisic acid, which produces in any type of uh, this adverse effect, like any type of stress condition, the abscisic acid release it and help the plant to bear this type of stresses and uh, help for the plant. The next property is as a biocontrol agent. So as in the earlier slide, I talked about they have two mechanisms as one as a direct mechanism or by production of antimicrobial compounds. And the second is indirect mechanism, which is in inducing systemic resistance whenever there is any attack by the pathogen. So the systemic resistance inside the plant triggered because of the presence of these bacillus. So plant growth promoting bacteria. So these, since we are talking about plant growth promoting rhizobacteria, especially the bacillus, they have two mechanisms. So direct mechanism as a PGPR and the indirect mechanisms. So nitrogen fixation, phosphorus solubilization, potassium solubilization, and phytohormone production. These all comes under direct mechanism by which this bacillus provide these essential nutrients and production of phytohormones and make them available for plants. In the indirect mechanism, there is production of siderophores, which is iron chelating compounds I told you about. The second is the induced systemic resistance. Whenever any pathogenic attack is there, so they have the ability to induce the resistance system in plant. Production of certain enzymes, hydrolytic enzymes as chitinase enzyme, which is helpful in degrading the cells of any type of fungus. Next is plant protection activity of plant growth promoting bacteria by production of volatile compounds, by production of antibiotic compounds, and by production of some biofilm towards outside the root zone area. And these are the mechanisms by which the plant growth promoting rhizobacteria helped for the growth and development of plant by their indirect methods. As a biocontrol agent for plant pathogen, in this diagram, we can understand that whenever there is a presence of any pathogen in, there is any pathogenic attack towards the plants, and if there is bacillus present in nearby the plant, so it induces the induced systemic resistance in plant and help the plant to cope up with that pathogen. So how this bacilli act towards the pathogen is, it changes the microbiota for pathogen suppression. So there is a fight between the pathogen and the bacilli for food, for the space to live, right? So bacillus suppresses the growth of pathogen because it has the ability to secrete number of antimicrobial compounds. So by this activity, it restricted the entry of pathogen and induces the resistant system in plant. So help as a biocontrol agent also. In this slide, we can see that the green colonization is the presence of bacillus near the root area. So whenever there is any presence of any pathogen towards the plant, so bacillus, what it does is it colonizes near the root area and uh, secreted certain type of organic acids and amino acids, and which restrict the entry of pathogen and help in the pathogen suppression and protect the plants against these pathogens. So these are some example of some case studies of bacillus on different crops, which will clarify that the bacillus is helpful in the uh, growth of plant, contributing towards the increased yield, as well as helpful as a biocontrol agent and suppression of diseases. So this is the first example in which we are seeing the effect of Bacillus pumilus isolates on strawberry yield under field conditions. So this study was done in Egypt, and where the application of Bacillus pumilus, uh, they used it against the management of black root disease in strawberry. And what they have found is they have seen the use of, they use 3 different isolates of Bacillus pumilus. And what they have found is there is increased yield in strawberry. Uh, in comparison to control, there the yield increases by the use of these Bacillus species. This shows the increased yield. This increased yield shows the plant growth promoting characters of Bacillus pumilus. This slide is showing the effect of Bacillus pumilus isolates on growth area of strawberry. So the first table is under the laboratory conditions, and the second table is under the field condition. So in both the tables, we can see all the 3 strains of Bacillus pumilus. They are able to reduce the growth of strawberry black root disease. So they are able to reduce the pathogen growth in both the condition. In the lab condition, what they did is uh, they inoculated Bacillus pumilus and the pathogen uh, together, and they have seen the reduction of growth of pathogen in the laboratory conditions. And in the field condition also, they introduced Bacillus pumilus, and they have seen that the disease severity was reduced by when they used Bacillus pumilus strains. This is the study done in ginger. This is the effect of inoculation with Bacillus subtilis on ginger, in which they have seen the plant height, number of leaves, leaf length, and leaf width. This is uh, they all are increased in the Bacillus subtilis isolates. We can see the dark color is showing the control one, and the light color bars are showing the Bacillus subtilis inoculated plants. So we can see that the plant height is more in Bacillus treated plants in comparison to the control one. Similarly, the number of leaves per plant are also higher in Bacillus subtilis inoculated plants. And leaf length also, it's more in the treated plants in comparison to the control. And similarly, the leaf width is also more in the treated one in comparison to control one. So this is this slide and this example is showing the activity of Bacillus as a plant growth promoting bacteria. It's the study in which the effect of Bacillus subtilis strain on the radial growth inhibition of Botrytis cinerea grapevine pathogen in PDA medium. So this study, this is done in the laboratory conditions in which the Bacillus subtilis is showing the biocontrol, act as a biocontrol agent against the pathogen. So in which we can see that the blue color is showing the control, and the Bacillus, 2 different species of Bacillus as BS1 and BS2, in which we can see that the radial growth of the pathogen is less in the uh, treated one, like in comparison to the control. The so it means it is able to inhibit the growth of pathogen. I've seen the benefits of Bacillus pumilus and Bacillus subtilis. So let me tell you that in nurture growth biofertilizer, we have both the strains as Bacillus pumilus and Bacillus subtilis. So because of the presence of these beneficial bacteria along with other beneficial microbes, nurture growth biofertilizer helps in promoting vigorous growth and enhance nutrient ability and uptake because of the presence of Bacillus subtilis and Pumilus along with other microbes. So they help in the nutrient availability and uh, uptake of these nutrients, right? The presence of they are able to uptake the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and other beneficial microbes. So apart from this, since all the microbes, since there is no all the microbes are beneficial microbes, so it's 100% organic and chemical free. And apart from this, it helps in the improvement of soil health and water retention. And uh, since we already talked about the property of Bacillus subtilis and Pumilus against the abiotic effects, right? So so it helps in certain type of stress resistance also. So it's a all-in-one treatment as a nurture growth biofertilizer, since because of the presence of all type of beneficial microbes. As a conclusion, since plant microbes play an important role in sustainable agriculture, uh, right now there is a need towards towards going for the people to go towards sustainable agriculture, since because of use of different chemicals and fertilizers, there is number of adverse effect in plant growth, soil, and our environment. So there is a need to go towards sustainable farming and going towards these agriculture practices. And plant microbes play an important role in plant growth, promoting and enhancing soil health, as a biocontrol agent also. So Bacillus, since it has a significance in agriculture, especially sustainable agriculture, because Bacillus species acts both as a plant growth promoting bacteria as well as a biocontrol agent that protects plant from harmful pathogens. So Bacillus subtilis and Bacillus pumilus, these two species are very important in this Bacillus family. So because of their number of characteristics as a plant growth promoting bacteria, biocontrol agent, plant growth promoting bacteria as phosphorus solubilization, nitrogen fixation, iron, it can provide iron and other essential nutrients to the plants, and as a biocontrol agent by secreting antimicrobial compounds, inducing the systemic resistance in the plant. They have number of properties which can contribute to the growth and development of plant, as well as protecting those plants from number of pathogens. So so this is an important component of sustainable agriculture, and a right way to go towards the sustainable agriculture. So this was all about the presentation. Now, if you have any question regarding this presentation, please, you are free to ask.
We have our next webinar on Tuesday, June the 24th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's how microbes and plant and growth regulators are shaping the future of farming. So we hope to see you there, and we will be sending out this presentation via email, and this presentation will also be available on YouTube. Until next time, hope everyone has a wonderful day.